All right, hey again, Joe and Gavin are here to give you part two of our Finding the Buyers portion of this Wholesaling 101 class. And again, if you need this mind map, text the word flip to 313131 or go to flipmindmap.com. Text the word flip to 313131 or go to flipmindmap.com. We'll get you this mind map. All of the links on the last video that we did. We gave you all kinds of scripts and postcards and letters and stuff like that you can send. Voicemail scripts that you can send to buyers. And on this section now, we're going to be talking about some other really fantastic, fast ways to find buyers. Gavin, why don't you talk a little bit about why it's important to have good cash buyers?
Super important because it makes things so much easier. You know, we like to keep things simple and easy. If you've got good cash buyers or even cash buyers and you know what they're looking for, it just gives you a head start for what criteria you are searching for when we're looking for these deals. You know, because if we don't know, we're just sort of, it's like trying to find a needle in the haystack, right? Without any buyers. We don't know what we're looking for. We can't find it. Where at least if we have 10 people, 2 zip codes, 2 bed up, this range, these neighborhoods, we know what they're looking for. So when we get them houses, you know, it gives us them, we can be more aggressive on the phone and in the sales, and we don't have to do contracts for 30 days, right? Yeah. If we've got buyers ready to close in 5 days, we'll say, we'll close this week. Let's do it. Because we know we've got the buyers ready to do that with the money.
It builds up so much more confidence. When you're talking to that seller, you know that you can close when you say you can close. It's not some fake game. You have buyers that you already know with just a phone call or a text message or an email. You can get these things sold like that. Yeah, that's magic.
And I just want to add something real quick. I can't tell you how many deals I've done by using that strategy. When they say, oh, there's somebody else looking, and I say, well, when are they going to close? Oh, within 30 days. I'll close in 7. Can they close in 7? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Of course they can't because they haven't got a buyer, right? So it just steps you, again, ahead of the game.
Very important. That's a really good point. All right, so one of my favorite ways to find good buyers is to call landlords of nearby rental properties, okay? And again, you can go to Craigslist. Now, you can't find homes, like you can't search for homes by the address, but sometimes you can go to Craigslist and search by the map. So if I go to Craigslist here, and let's look in that same area where we just were in St. Louis. If I can find Missouri, St. Louis, here we go. If you go to apartment housing, you can go to map view. And if you know your house is in a certain area, well, you can zoom in there. Not every house is going to be, you know, have neighborhoods or like have an address where it can be on a map like this. But you can kind of go into your area and see what other homes are listed for rent, okay? And call the landlords of these properties. Let's go view this posting. This might be a property manager. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to call them anyways. This is Sheila. It's not my Sheila, is it? My assistant. No, it's not. Okay. So this is a phone number. You can call her up and say, you know, I see that you got this rental property on Bristol Rock Road. You wouldn't have any interest in another property in that area, would you? It's as simple as that, right? You can also go to Zillow. So this house we were looking at was in 63121. So if you go to Zillow again and do a search for 63121 and listing type, just do rentals. Okay. There's 20 properties right now in that zip code that are listed for rent. And I might even click outside of the blue line. Now I have 100 different rental properties, and I'm going to sort this by newest, and I'm just going to start calling these people. You can see they all have phone numbers. Angie, I don't know if she's an individual landlord or a property manager. Just call them up and ask them, hey, are you looking for more homes? Here's somebody else. Leasing agent is just the name, but there's a phone number. Decca Realty, it's a realtor. That's all right. Call them anyway. Would your client have any interest in buying another house? I'll let you get the commissions on both sides if you want. So here we go. There's 100 phone numbers, maybe 50 of them. Let's say half of them are duplicates from the same person or whatever. But there's at least 50 people that you could call right now that have a rental property in that area. Another good site that I like to go to is gosection8.com. Gosection8.com. These are really good buyers. In that zip code, I've got 37 listings right now of Section 8 homes. Some of these are available now, some of them are not. But look what you get right here. A nice phone number. Okay? Here's another house. They may not even have pictures yet, but there's another phone number. A lot of these guys, they're not using property management companies. It's hard to find property management companies that are willing to manage homes in this neighborhood, in this area, but there's phone numbers here. You can just call them. And by the way, when you're talking to them, ask them if they have any houses they're looking to sell. Tell them you're looking to buy something, right? They may not be interested in this house, but they may be interested in something else. So ask them what they're looking for.
Yeah, and when you do that and you go across that chain of people, often you will find someone that wants another one and someone wants to sell one. Yeah. And then you might have the two people because they're both in the same area. Yeah. The good thing is with Section 8 buyers is they'll buy anything.
They will.
They will buy anything. Doesn't matter how bad it is. They will buy anything.
Yeah.
At the right price.
This house isn't even available anymore, but if you click on this green thing, the button comes up with the name and phone number of whoever was advertising it before. So right there, Zillow, Craigslist, and Go Section 8, where you can get some good phone numbers of landlords. Just give them a call and then drive by the area. It's amazing to me how many landlords will advertise houses for rent and will not even advertise them on Craigslist or Zillow or any other website. All they'll do is stick a sign in the yard. So that's a great way to find landlords. The other thing you could do as you're driving around, look for the houses that have rehab crews or construction going on. Maybe a dumpster in the driveway, some contractors there painting or whatever. Stop by at the house, walk in, say, "Hey, I'm an investor in this area. I'm just looking to see if who's in charge here." And you could talk to them maybe. Bring them. I was going to say bring them a 6-pack of beer, but maybe not. I don't know. But just stop in and say, "Hey, are you guys looking to buy more deals in this area? I've got one down the street you might be interested in. Who's the owner of the house or whatever?" So drive by the area. You'll be surprised how many good buyers you can find just by driving through the area. And then this is huge. Don't forget to network with property managers. I was just at a mastermind today, a local mastermind in St. Louis, and I sold a deal to one guy. Well, he's going to look at it, but I know I got it sold. And then there's another guy who was there who has a property manager, about 140 doors. He is a property management company. And he's got buyers right now who he's managing properties that are looking for more. And guess what? If you can go to a property manager and say, "Hey, I've got properties that maybe some of your other clients would want," that property manager, he's thinking dollars, right? He's thinking, okay, well, if I can get another property, I can get more money from this guy, or I can, network. And so these property managers know who is of their clients are looking to get more inventory and buy more houses, okay? And sometimes these property managers will know investors that are wanting to sell some of their properties, their problem properties, okay? Gavin, I have never met a property manager who has told me honestly, no, I don't have any clients right now that are looking to sell a property.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, totally do.
So there you go, guys. I mean, if we just ended this right now and didn't go through any of the other things, you would have more buyers than you can handle. Signs, direct mail, and picking up the phone, calling landlords. But we're not done. Partnering with other wholesalers is so important. I just did a podcast this morning where I was talking about stop worrying about competition. And I was talking about how, guys, there are no more secrets in this business anymore. There are no secrets in wholesaling. So stop looking at other wholesalers as your competition. Look at them as potential partners. So there's nothing wrong if you've got a deal, you're new in the business, you don't know what's going on, you don't know if it's a good deal or not, but you've got it under contract, you're still in the inspection contingency. Start sending it out to other wholesalers that you know and say, "Listen, would you partner with me on this deal? I'll partner with you on it. We'll split the profits 50-50. And don't let them daisy chain it. Don't let them mark the price up because you're already advertising it online, But tell them, if you bring a buyer, I'll split my wholesale fee with you. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And so you're up against the clock. You only have 3-4 weeks to close. So partner with other local wholesalers if you don't have some good buyers already. And the cool thing is, when you partner with other local wholesalers, You'll find out who the good title companies are that let you do double closes or let you do assignments and stuff like that. You'll find out who their hard money lenders are, who their buyers are, right? So by helping them make more money, you'll kind of learn the business and learn what areas are good or not. There's been lots of times when I've called another wholesaler in an area of town that I wasn't familiar with, or with a property that had more damage than I was comfortable with, and I knew this guy would be able to find buyers for it, and we split the wholesale fee. It was easy. I'd rather just make a phone call and make half the money than go through all that work of,
exactly,
doing the signs or whatnot. All right, so it's real simple. Look in Craigslist for other investors that are advertising properties. Ask them if they'd like to partner with you on the deal. Split the profits 50-50. And this is important. Avoid daisy chains. Daisy chains is like when you're advertising a property, someone else advertises it, bumps the price up, and then that person bumps the price. You get these daisy chains. Just ignore that. Don't let anybody else do that to your deals. So you just tell another wholesaler, listen, let's partner on this. If you find a buyer, then we'll split the fee. If they tell you, well, you're trying to sell it for 40, I got a buyer who'll pay 50 for it, then okay, go ahead and sell it for 50, but then on all your other marketing and advertising, raise the price up to 50. I lost a really good buyer one time because I was giving him the deals at the numbers he wanted, right? He wanted 15% cash on his money. But as I was marking the price up to get him that number that he wanted, he did a little research online, found out that it was advertised earlier for a price like $3,000 less. It wasn't much. But he saw that he could have bought it cheaper and saved $3,000 if he would have just gone a different route around me. And I didn't even know that was there, but I learned a real valuable lesson. Don't mark up these properties if your end buyer is going to be able to get online and search and see that it's cheaper somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is probably one of the fastest ways to ruin yourself in the business.
Yeah, you'll ruin your reputation. You talk to active wholesalers. They're always complaining about these daisy guys who try to do daisy chains. So just take our advice. Don't do that. All right?
Yeah.
Local realtors that have represented cash buyers in the past, this is huge. I showed you ListSource and how you can buy all of these, 200, maybe you go out and you buy 1,000 of the most recent investor and transactions that happen. What you need to do is go into the MLS if you have access to it and find out who on that listing in that neighborhood, and most of these are being sold to investors, so these properties need work. They're not being sold to retail buyers. Find out who the listing agent was and who the buyer's agent was, and call them. Call up the listing agent. Call up the buyer's agent and say, hey, you know what? I've got another property here. You don't have any buyers that would be interested in it, would you? You don't have to offer to pay them a commission, because usually it's the buyer that they have that's going to pay them a commission. Plus, many times that buyer will let them list the property after they fix it up and sell it or rent it or whatever. So call local realtors that have done these kinds of investment transactions before. Sometimes you can search for this right in the MLS. Sometimes you need to go from the county or ListSource and find out the recent investor transactions and then cross-reference those addresses to the MLS. Find out who the realtors were that sold that represented the seller and represented the buyer. Ask them if they think a previous client would be looking for another property. Sometimes you can tell them to add their commission to the price if they want. Sometimes that's more hassle than it's worth, but just see if they have. They're always looking to bring more deals to their clients, okay? And then guess what happens? That realtor brings you one of their buyers, and now you have a new buyer. The MLS are some of the best places to find buyers. We did not put in this list to clean up the house and put it on the MLS. But if you can swing it, if you can buy some of these properties, if you have the cash, buy them, clean them out, and stick them on the MLS, you're going to get the buyers that pay the most from the MLS. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then partner with other wholesalers who can, maybe, and you can sell them for more. So the local RIA groups, real estate investment associations, the real estate clubs, great place. Always be going to those and networking. Flap your lips. Talk. And put flyers. I have one of our clients, David Dodge, super cool guy. When he was getting started, I told him, I said, you just need to focus on finding buyers. And he did. He started putting flyers. He would go to all the real estate clubs, and in St. Louis we have 3 or 4 of them. And he would put every week, he'd be going to a new club meeting, and he'd be putting flyers in the windshields before the event ended. So while the main speaker was going on, when most of the cars were there, he'd go out and put these flyers in there. And I'm not going to show this to you because I want you to get the mind map. But in the mind map, I gave you a picture of his flyer. You can go there and get the flyer. And I also gave you a link to his website where he would send people to go to sign up for his buyers list. He constantly found really good buyers from this, okay? Great strategy. Okay, how are we doing on time? Yikes, we got to hurry. Here are some questions that when you're talking to these guys, let me just say this and emphasize this most importantly. You have to be accessible, all right? You don't want these buyers, when you're doing all this marketing, to go to a voicemail, you call them back maybe someday down the road, or you send them to a website in hopes that they put in their name and email address so that you can someday email blast them when you have a house. That's like, you know what, right now, these days, a lot of buyers, they don't trust these. If they see a property that comes across in their email, they almost have a tendency to doubt that that's going to be a good deal because they're in their mind thinking, if it's going out on email, it's probably been passed up by a bunch of other buyers and it's probably not a good deal. So you can't rely on sending out emails anymore for properties. You need to, it still works, you should still do that, but you need to have relationships with these cash buyers. So just real simply, here are some questions that you should ask them. You know, what areas are you looking to buy homes in? What are the minimum numbers of beds and bath? Do they have the money? Are they ready to buy today? And how many properties do they want to buy per month, per year? So you just want to find out, what are they looking for? It's super important to ask them these questions, okay? And I tell you guys, just by being accessible, just by answering your phone, you're going to get the most loyal buyers. Out-of-state buyers, you know, they know that because they're looking for deals all the time. And if you were to ask them, like, how many people, what percentage of people that you call never answer their phone and never call you back? They'll be like, most of them. But if you're the one guy in your city that answers the phones, or like if you can't answer it, you text them, I'll call you right back, and then you call them right back within a few minutes, you're going to have loyal customers and fans and buyers for life because you're accessible. They know that they can trust you, they can call you, and you answer your phones.
You save so much time for yourself as well because you already know what they want and you can just pick up the phone. You haven't got to send it out to email blast because people don't realize that when you do an email blast, people then are going to have questions. So if you could have had one phone call and moved the property, or you're going to send out to 100 emails and 50 of them ask you a question, now you've got to answer them questions. You sent it me and now you're not responding. Again, they get upset about it. So you want to get to the stage where you're just picking up the phone and within 3 buyers, it's gone, sold, done.
Yeah. We're telling you guys from experience, we know what works, and we see guys that are doing a lot of deals. They have a lot of relationships. Yeah. So don't rely on your website. Don't rely on email blasts. Get on the phone. It's all about building relationships and start spreading the word in your market that what you're looking for in properties. You'll sell most of your deals. Always be building your buyers list. And one of the things that was worked really well for us, we would when we go and network with local real estate clubs, we start spreading the word and calling and emailing everybody we know. Hey, we're looking for deals. So whenever you're networking, get cards, get phone numbers, build your list of wholesalers, investors, contractors, realtors, property managers, etc., and start sending out emails every week of what you're looking for. Hey, we're looking for deals. And always represent yourself as the buyer. Don't say things like, I have buyers that are looking for this and this. Unless you're a realtor, you can do that. But if you're not an agent, you can't. So always be talking about yourself as the buyer. You're looking for these deals. And you're gonna sell most of your deals with a phone call. Always be building your buyers list. And there's a strategy that I just want to touch on briefly. It's finding the buyers first, and we've been kind of hinting at that through this whole thing. But this should be, I contemplated whether we should put finding cash buyers at the very beginning of this mind map and talking about that first, because it really is the most important thing. So which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you find the sellers first or do you find the buyers first? Well, yes. Okay. Always be marketing for buyers and always be marketing for sellers, but it's always easier to shop for what buyers want instead of trying to sell them what you have. All right? Think about that. If you were to go out and walk around the street and you make this nice bowl of spaghetti and you're trying to sell people the spaghetti that you made, They're going to be like, "Are you nuts? Like I didn't even want spaghetti. Why are you trying to sell this to me?" But what if you went out in the street and just took people's orders and said, what kind of spaghetti would you like? Would you like Alfredo or red sauce or just plain noodles? And if you're my kids, well, never mind. And so they would say, well, okay, I'm hungry. I want something like this. And then you go out and find what they want. You will make more money. You will do more deals when you do that. Super critical, right?
Just to add on that real quick, if you do find the buyers first, back to partnering with other people, you can be selling their deals for them.
Yeah.
Right? So there's the flip side to it. But like Joe said, you just got to be doing both.
Yeah, always be doing both, right? So when you're talking to a seller and they don't want to sell the house, ask them, do you have any other houses to sell? And ask them like, well, okay, are you looking to buy any more houses? So always be looking for buyers, okay? Find out who's actively buying properties and go get what they want. It's really that simple. Don't complicate this any more than it needs to be. All right, so we're going to go through our action checkpoint. We are at the end of finding buyers. Next video, we're going to talk about actually closing the deal. So these are the commitments we want you to make, okay? Yes, I know where to find cash buyers. We just told you. Yes, you will focus on the buyer's criteria. Yes, you know how to build your buyers list, and you're going to be doing it all the time, okay? Yes, I will work on finding buyers first. And yes, I'm ready to start making money today. This, of all the sections we talked about, is probably the most important. And I keep on saying that for a lot of what we have talked about, but finding the buyers is really important if you want to explode your wholesaling business and do a lot of deals. So get out there and do it. Start flapping your lips and start focusing on building your buyers list. We gave you all the tools you need right now. Get out there and do it, okay? So on the next video, we're going to be talking about how to actually close these deals. We're going to be talking about the contracts and how to double close or assign, or actually how to get the money to close them, to buy them, and then turn around and sell them if that's what you have to do. All right. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next video.
Thanks, guys.